G'day, Karen, and thanks for allowing me to take a look at your LinkedIn profile and give you some suggestions on how you can improve it so that you can position yourself professionally and ready for any future opportunities in your career that you might be looking to make the most of. Now, let's jump right in and pull up your profile. What I see here is that you've already got a really good professional profile. I love that you have a really warm, friendly, professional looking head and shoulder shot. So you're already leaps and bounds there. You've also got a great use here of the banner. Lots of people, especially in government, do not use that banner at all. So it's great that you've got something there. What I would say is it's not entirely clear what that represents. Obviously, it's hands in the shape of a heart. And reading through your profile and what I know of you is that you're really into human-centered design and putting the heart back into health and ensuring that people's emotional needs are considered when you're facility planning and planning spaces where healthcare happens. So knowing all of that, I can guess what the banner represents. But for anyone who's just landing on your profile for the first time, or maybe who's met you at a networking event and they're going to check you out, they're not necessarily going to know what that banner means. So I think this space here could be utilized better with either perhaps some words here that explain what it's about, or something written in here that says heart-centered human design in healthcare. If not, I would suggest even adding a photo here of one of the facilities that you've actually been involved in the design and planning of, where you've been involved with consulting and ensuring that the users and the community needs have been met. And if you've got a great photo of one of those, then that would make a great banner. Also, you'll see in the notes that I'm going to provide you that you have your title here as Facility Planner at Hunter New England Local Health District. That's great, and I understand that that's your position, but I would also use that real estate to flesh it out a bit more. It is character limited, but it allows you a lot more scope than what you've got here right now. So I would say we could use that space better to describe what you want to be known for. So this is what it comes back to, a little bit around your personal brand, your personal why, what you want people to know of you, and how you want them to think of you when they think of your name. Essentially, that little banner strip, every time people see your photo, they're going to hear and read that. And so they're going to associate you and your picture with those words. So I think it's really important to think about how you could utilize that space even better. Going down, it's great to see that you've used your About section, although there's not a lot there to go on. There's enough to get a feel for who you are, but it is a little bit of just like a top level resume, I would say. And this is a real opportunity to sell what you do. Quite often I find women in government undersell themselves. It's quite common. So let's not do that anymore. Let's stand up and be proud for what value you bring. Even include quotes of what other people have said about you, or a little bit of your success stories from some of the projects that you've worked on. Awesome to see that you've been posting some things, even if it is sharing, reposting other people's. I think people underestimate how much they could actually write articles or just put posts up now and then. It doesn't have to be all the time, a couple of times a month even, but just showing the topics, the themes, the things that you're interested in. Because when I visit your page, I'm going to see, what are you posting about? So right now I'm seeing stuff about the construction industry and microplastics. And is that what you want to be known for? So that's all I would say, is think about putting posts and comments and articles there of things that, again, relate to that personal brand and what you want to be seen and known for. Great that you've included the actual name of the organisations, government agencies and that you've been working for in all of these, because as you'll see, LinkedIn automatically populates the logo, and us being really visual people, we scan and go, oh, she's worked there, there, and there. So that's how people, recruiters, other senior execs that are looking to hire people look at your history. They really do scan the page. And these days we know that like 90% of recruiters use LinkedIn to check you out if you're applying for something. Great that you've got your education and also some of your skills, which clearly people have begun endorsing you for. What's missing down the bottom is any recommendations. I would highly recommend that you get some recommendations. So talk to people that you've worked with typically, talk to some of your senior leaders or people who could write a nice recommendation for you. Recommendations really stand out because it's not just you talking about you, it's actually social proof, other people saying why you're good at what you do and the value that you brought in their workplace or in the project that you've worked on with them. What I will do after creating this video is I'll also email you this little positioning review that I've done for you, which goes through exactly step by step what I'd recommend you updating and improving. You'll see here, for example, I've said in that strap line where you can actually put your name and your title, I've said, for example, you might be able to write something like passionate advocate for human-centered healthcare design, and then facility planner, Hunter New England Health. So really thinking about positioning first those things that you want to be known for. I would also, as I said, change that banner perhaps. There's some tools there like Canva that you could do that for, and some ways that you could improve that, because people are super visual. When they do heat maps of people looking at LinkedIn, they first just go to the photo, they read the name, they look across at the banner and then scan down, but they literally scan what we call above the fold. So they only look at like your photo in that first section, unless they're super interested in your profile, and then they might scan down. But most people just stay up on that top first page that you see when you land on a LinkedIn profile. So I've got there about getting some recommendations, and then also great to see that you have some posts, but I'd really think about connecting with other people. So maybe looking if you could reach out to 3-5 people a week that are doing things in the realm of where you want to study your PhD, where you want to do more work in the human design and in emotional design in healthcare settings or any kind of building and construction, I guess. So really making sure that you are looking for people that can support your future career and that would add value to your career, as far as will give you other information and knowledge in the spheres you're interested in, but also places where you could add value. Because as I've said here in the positioning matrix that I've created for you, is what makes you unique. I think here I've written is your blend of practical clinical experience with your project management and stakeholder consultation. It's rare to find that. People are usually one stream or the other, but it's great when someone has the clinical and non-clinical background. So I think some of your belief in the healing power of connections, of the space and how it makes us feel, that you really have an edge or a difference in the healthcare sector. And so I've said here that you've got a completely holistic, considered approach to facility planning, and that you're often sought out to speak at conferences and events about delivering heart and human-centered approaches to healthcare redesign. I've also said that you're a passionate advocate for that, and that you prioritize the need of vulnerable communities, and that you're really passionate about that, seeing healthcare facilities reflect the need of those people in the communities that are going to be serviced in them. Things like you're respected for your integrity and professionalism, I really pick up from your profile, and that you're known for sort of your insights and that leadership capacity. The ability to work hard and deliver on your promises is what I see. What I recommend as well is including some testimonials and recommendations in your about section, so that you get that social proof of hearing other people's voice. I also note here that you've done a lot of complex project management and partnerships where it's local, state, federal kind of involvement of government. I think that's really important to talk about that size and scale of projects that you've worked on. And I would also, I know you've got that you have contributed to the New South Wales Pediatric Rehabilitation Model of Care. But when it comes to those complex, big project managements, I would recommend outlining a specific example of a project. And I do recall you saying something about that you'd been involved with birthing suites, I think at Maitland Hospital or somewhere like that. So even to include an example of something like that. And if you had that in your about section, and that the photo at the top of the page also reflected that, I really believe that starts to have this really nice congruence. It starts to really define a picture of who you are, and people will land on your profile, have a look and get really quickly a flavor of just the value you could bring to the kinds of things that they're working on. Remember, LinkedIn is great, not just for career advancement, but for also connecting with like-minded peers. And so we don't just want to make it a resume rehash, because who wants to connect with a boring person that just sounds like a document? We want to connect with other humans who are doing great things in the fields that we're interested in. So the more you can put a bit of your own personality into it, I think you're going to see that people are going to want to reach out and connect with you as well. So I hope those tips have been of help. I will send through the report to you now, so you've got that to refer to. And I look forward to revisiting your profile maybe in a few weeks or a month and seeing how you've gotten on with making these changes. Thanks.